So I'm reading one of these socialist rags that a buddy of mine had posted, and they just don't. I love the guy dearly, but I mean, socialists don't get that Venezuela is a practical example of socialism failing, as is many other nations around the world as they failed over the years. Socialism doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's anytime you have a centralized thing, it's an eggs in basket approach to politics. Okay? Anytime you have everything centralized, you've got a recipe for disaster. The more diverse you are, the more individualistic you are, you have safety nets because there's other things that can kick in to save your ass. There's nothing to save your ass when you're all in the same basket. So, a good example is I don't know if you watch SpongeBob, but in one episode, Patrick Star loses his wallet, and Manta Ray hands him his wallet. It's got his ID in it. It's got all this information in it. And Patrick goes, "Oh, it's not my wallet." He says, "Well, is this your license?" "Yes." "Then this must be your wallet." "No, it's not my wallet." He pulls out his social security card. "Well, this is your social security card." And Patrick goes, "Yep, that's my card." And he goes, "Nope, that's not my wallet." So this Venezuela is a perfect. Here you got a democratically elected socialist party. Yes, the Socialist Party's in power. Yes, they've seized the control. They've seized the means of production, which is the very definition of yes. So this must be socialism. No, that's not socialism. But anyway, getting back to the stupid article. I'm reading this article, and it basically blames the United States for manipulating oil prices. Blaming the United States for manipulating oil prices is the same thing as saying, well, it's the tire's fault when my Trabant won't start. For those of you who don't remember the Trabant, it was a crappy East Bloc vehicle that came out in 1981, okay? And it was sold throughout the 80s. While the United States and other countries, capitalist countries, are zipping around in Lamborghinis and Cadillacs, and electronics are just coming out to the cars, and you're just starting to get into digital displays, they're driving around in a car where the rear wheel would come up off the ground when you went into a turn. Your gas gauge was you getting out of the car, popping the hood, taking a little stick about yo big and dipping it into a gas can that was attached to the engine. That's it. And that's how you had to fill it, by the way. You had to lift the hood because there's a little gas can in there. Top speed of the Trabant, 55 miles an hour. So you didn't have to worry about speeding, dangerous speeds. As far as oil, you had to mix it in with the gas. So needless to say, it plumed smoke both outside and inside the cab. You were breathing that. So I could go on and on. There was no glove box. It's basically a hull. There was a compartment on the left side where your fuse box were, and it was like the kind of fuses you would see like in the homes in like the 50s, or the big Hurricane freaking fuses, like and of course that's where you kept your tools because you were always breaking down. I mean, I could go. There was the passenger side had a lock inside the car but not on the outside, and it was a tab that you flipped up and down on the door, so you would reach over from the driver's side, flip that, and that would lock the door, and you would get out of the car and lock it from the outside. So on the driver's side, the lock was outside but not inside. So there was only one way you were going to lock this car. You couldn't lock it from either side. The gaps in the door were not uniform. You would see each car was like a fingerprint. It was like some would go wide and narrow, or narrow to wide. So they didn't even align them right. This was the product of socialism. You couldn't even get a car. You couldn't even get a car powered by a hamster to work. So to say that we interfered with Venezuela's successful socialist experiment by manipulating gas prices is exactly the same thing as blaming Trabant's failure on the tires. No, the car was shit. Just like the political system is shit. Okay, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's an eggs in basket. If your sole economy is oil only, you're not producing electronics, you're not producing textiles, you're not producing machines, all you have to your credit is oil. And you're going to blame your failure because you have only one single commodity on the United States. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. It's just, if you believe that the United States manipulating oil prices had something to do with Venezuela's failure, I can't help you. I just can't. I mean, there's certain people you can't explain. This is why I'm an anarchist. I don't think I'm reaching people. I don't. Because it's like I preach to myself. I'm in my own echo chamber. It's like, this fails because. And it's, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It's provable. The math is there. Look at the math. For Christ's sakes, look at the math. Oh, well, what can I say? Anyway, I was just like fired up after reading this stupid article. It was like the dumbest thing I've ever read. And oh well, I'm done ranting. But I mean, it's, if you haven't looked at the Trabant, you make sure that, because you have to watch the videos on the Trabant to truly appreciate the kind of products socialism produces. That is, while we were zipping around in Porsches and Lamborghinis and Cadillacs and, beautiful pickup trucks, and they were zipping around in a hamster. Basically, a hamster-powered piece of garbage. Google the Trabant, Trabant, Trabant. Google it or go to YouTube. Watch the videos. They're hilarious. You'll love that. That is the product of socialism. I'm out. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.